Welcome to the Magician Mathematics series.
Hello everyone, my name is Jesse and today we are going to talk about the quadratic formula. So the quadratic formula is this formula right here behind me. X equals negative b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac. All of that divided by 2a. So you're going to run into this formula when you're asked to solve equations like this. ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. A is the coefficient of x squared, and it corresponds to this a and that a. B is the coefficient of x, and it corresponds to those b's right there. And c is the constant at the end. It corresponds to that c right there. Now you'll do this when you're finding the roots or x-intercepts of a quadratic, or when you're just asked to solve something like this. So now that you've been introduced to the formula, let's see an example of it in action. So here's an example of the quadratic formula in use. We want to solve this equation, 2x squared minus 6x plus 4 equals 0. And here is our quadratic formula. Now the first thing I've done is I've identified a, b, and c. A is with the x squared, a is 2. B is with the x term, b is negative 6. C is the constant at the end, so it's 4. So now that you have a, b, and c, you're going to plug them into your formula. So I have negative 6, double negative 6 parentheses squared minus 4 times 2 times 4. All of that in the square root, and then that whole thing divided by 2 times a, which is 2. So now you're just going to simplify. So that becomes positive 6 plus or minus the square root of 4. All of that right there inside the square root turns out to be 4. And then 2 times 2 is 4. Now, we know that the square root of 4 is 2. So it becomes 6 plus or minus 2 over 4. Now I'm going to break that up even further. I'm going to do 6 plus 2 over 4. And I will do 6 minus 2 over 4. Because I'm going to get two different solutions there. 6 plus 2 is 8. And then 8 divided by 4 gives me 2. So I know that my first solution is 2. On the other hand, I have 6 minus 2, which is 4. And then 4 divided by 4 gives me 1. So this tells me I have two solutions, x equals 2 and x equals 1. So that was a pretty basic rundown of using the quadratic formula. We got to see it in action. When you do it on your problems, things might be a little different. This might be negative right here. It might be 0, or it might be some positive number like we had here. Just little things that might vary when you do your own problems. But I hope you were able to take away something from this quadratic formula video, and thanks for watching.
That's a wrap for today's episode of the Magician Mathematics series. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Until next time, keep learning, stay curious, and we'll see you in the next Magician Mathematics episode.